my name's James Highton and welcome to Farmers Guardian's on test with the Manitou pivot steer, the MLA-T 533-145. Bit of a mouthful, but yeah, it's Manitou's largest pivot steer offering on the market at the moment. And yeah, we're just giving it a bit of a run through. It's put it through its paces a little bit, to be honest. This model has been on the market for a couple of years, but in fairness, you know, it's still quite fresh-faced, and I suppose it's everything that you'd generally expect from a Manitou design point of view. You've still got that same Manitou joystick with forward and reverse on the rocker switch at the top of the joystick, which, to be honest, I know that a lot of people would say competing manufacturers, traditional joystick would be the preferred choice. In all honesty, once you get used to it, it's got quite a nice feel to it and quite responsive. Now, Manitou state that this is a 5.2 metre lift machine to bottom of the pallet tines with a 3.3 tonnes or 3,300 kilo lift capacity. So it offers quite a nice size and capacity for this particular class of machine. Now, the other little thing that this particular elite specification model of the MLA-T pivot steer has is the option for return to dig. You can go onto the control panel at the side on the armrest, set a height that you want it to return to each time off the ground, and it's just a matter of, once you've preset that, press the button till it returns and beeps at you. Away you go. Let's just see if we can just set this return to dig. Oh, not promising anything. There you go. Hear the beep. So hopefully, press the little blue dead man switch on the joystick. Hopefully, all being well, I should be able to get a bucket of muck, go up, boom out, tip. Oh, bit of splatter. Too much messing about, and then I should be able to, as you can see, cock itself back and return to dig. I'll give it another go. Might do a better job this time. Tip, without the splatter this time, and then hopefully kick that forwards, straight down, and to the height you were set at again. Certainly, if you were loading spreaders in the field, would be quite a handy addition. Now, one of the features that this machine does have, that, to be honest, when you're using it regularly like I am now, you never even notice it. It's not there. It's got a little bit of a dead man switch. There's a blue button just on the front palm of the joystick, which you just need to activate the joystick each time you use it. Now, if you stop using that joystick for like 10 seconds or so, you'll find that it'll just lock out on you, and it does catch you out a little bit sometimes. Spoke to the guys at Manitou, and they are introducing the heat palm system at the end of this year, hopefully, just so that effectively the palm of your hand onto the joystick will automatically activate the joystick. You can use it freely, which I think will be quite a nice addition. Once you get used to it, to be honest, you don't really notice it. It's just that initial first time where it just sometimes catches you out. Pivot steers, do you know what? It's got really good manoeuvrability just for working around tighter spaces. Obviously, if you're a user that you don't usually have a pivot steer, you have a a fixed boom, side mounted boom machine, telescopic. Does get a little bit used to. Once you do get used to it, that extra bit of height on the seat, visibility down each side, it does make the machine. Manitou have obviously brought their cab design in-house in recent years, and you know they've made the effort with this particular cab design. Even without a reversing camera on this particular model that we've got, you know, you've still got good visibility over the back. Exhaust is neatly tucked away. I mean, one of the benefits from an operator's point of view with a pivot steer is you can put it in some places that you perhaps wouldn't naturally go with a normal telehandler, and it'll follow you nicely round some corners. But I think that's one of the nice things about the hydrostatic. You can be as hard as steady as you want, to be honest, with this machine. From my point of view, as a bit of a unfamiliar user with a pivot steer, that's quite nice. Gives you that nice bit of control on operation. Now, it's beeping at me here, which is because I've overloaded. Now, if you do ever find yourself in the situation where you've overloaded this machine, obviously you're in the situation where it's locked itself out on full extent, boom, you can always just press the parachute mode button on it and it will give you the functionality just to empty your load out, which is quite handy because you can get a little bit giddy sometimes, particularly when you're loading something like a heavy material like muck. Obviously, operators that wish to tow a trailer can pretty much have any hitching requirements that they wish. This one's got option for tipping and return, and yeah, trailer brakes. So I think just whatever you want, there's the option to do so. This particular Elite model got a full LED light pack. Now, just using it over the last day or so, probably find that, you know, some of the other manufacturers do have a bit of a bigger LED lighting pack that this one does, but I think that's just down to personal preference at the end of the day. I know they're not everybody's cup of tea, these Manitou joysticks, but definitely, like, once you get used to them rollers on the side for your thumb, put your finger on for that directional control, it's definitely something that you get used to. I quite like it. This particular Manitou machine is just on 500s, to be honest. Some ag spec Michelin tyres on 500s. They're not actually the standard specification tyre for this machine, just been on some slightly more smaller 460s, but yeah, it just gives you a bit extra stability. Ooh, if I don't make a mess of that. The Manitou's got a stage 5 Deutz-Fahr engine in it actually, and kicking out 143 horsepower. Now, obviously, a lot of manufacturers with the stage 5 tier requirements have had to put a lot of different AdBlue systems on. Manitou's put a couple of nice little features in the engine bay, to be honest. Yeah, they've made quite a nice job of positioning the engine oil dipstick and the hydraulic oil level just nicely under the bonnet, just so you can just pop the bonnet, see what's going on. Yeah, and also a couple of little additions they've got a clip on and off funnel for when you want to empty your engine oil, and they brought the hydraulic filters into a bit more of a prominent position, just so that you can access them a bit easier. Obviously, the engine oil serviceability changes is every 500 hours, so you know, to be honest, you're probably going to get the dealer to do that, certainly in the first couple of occasions. And to be honest, most people get somebody in just to do those serviceable checks anyway and changes. Another thing that you can just set up and tweak on the Manitou is flow rates for you. Now this one's got a third and a fourth service on this particular machine. Now that's just up to specification and what people require, but you can obviously increase and slow the flow rates. I know that's something that might be quite popular for users of bale squeezers, just to reduce a bit of the aggressiveness in those sorts of operations. If you want to find out more about our Manitou pivot steer on test, you can do it at farmersguardian.com, where you'll see the full written review, or in the mag, where you can find out more of what we think about the machine.